Hello everyone, this is Ray Kierna. For those who know me, I build the rubber powered helicopters with Copter Concepts. What I'm showing now is my full size 1/8 scale drawing of the main control wall that I will be building for my diorama of the Monarch model for the Fly. Movie was done in 1958, starred Al Hedison, Patricia Owen, Vincent Price, and Herbert Marshall. This control wall is pretty movie accurate. I mean, I've watched this movie thousands of times. I took a lot of still photos. So as you see here, this is the size of how big this diorama is going to be, which is going to be about 32 inches long for the entire wall. And then there'll be another wall that's going to be coming off the side of this transformer here, and that's where the chalkboard is going to be. This is the computer cabinet A with the control box here. I'm not going to use the control box that's in the kit because I want to do mine more custom for this particular diorama. Everything here is pretty much film accurate. I did not do the details on this computer cabinet. This is computer cabinet A, which sits on this side, and that's because it's exactly the same as computer cabinet A over here, except it's not going to have this control box. It'll have these two rails that come almost to the bottom of the cabinet there. So it's going to have those two rails there, but it's not going to have the control cabinet on this computer cabinet A. So I can build them both exactly the same, except for this. This is all going to light up. This is the back lighting. That's going to have 6 by 12 inch styrene tile sheets, 1/3 square or 8.5 millimeters. I'm going to need 3 sheets. The squares are going to be about that size in these panels here. These 4, main center one, and then the next 4. These controls here, of course, I made a mistake when I drew this. It's supposed to only be 1 row of lights per section. I've got 4 sections here, and they should be like this one. See how I've got just a line of lights, and there's 9 lights in each one. Varying colors, various blinking. It's going to be red, yellow, green, and orange lighting here and here. There'll be lights here. This is kind of like a big roll of cable there. These have red and green lights here, and these 4 that I've got drawn here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those will be lit. These 2 lights will be lit. All these little lights here will be lit, and they're alternating. Green row, red row, green row, red row, green row, red row. Per movie, these do not flash, I believe. I got to double check that. I think these are all solid. So solid here. These lights up here are solid. Blinking. Blinking here. There'll be 2 lights here on the control cabinet that I'll run through that. I did get most of my goodies from Evans Design. Now, Evans Design is a super great company, very friendly, very helpful, good prices on stuff. Battery switches for my 9-volt power supply. I have fiber optic cable, blinking lights, green and blue right now for the kind of like a little fish tank thing I'm going to do. Now these are mega lights. These are super bright white lights. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do with those. I was thinking the disintegrator cabinet, but these do not blink or flash. The disintegrator cabinet is kind of like an icy blue color, so I did get fading or breathing lights that are the ice blue, and they're 5 millimeters, so they're going to be a little bit bigger for the disintegrator cabinet. So this will probably be also added into the disintegrator cabinet. Now these are all my marquee lighting from Evans Design, and these are the cascading or marquee type of lights that blink in a series around. I'm going to label them or put them on the back. There's a total of 60, so 20 per lead. I'm going to tie all these together. I was told I can do that, and they can still run off of 1 9-volt battery. LEDs, from what I understand, I can wire up to 60 together and one 9-volt battery around. So I'm only going to have a couple of 9-volt batteries attached to this entire control wall. So I think only about 2 9-volt batteries I'll use for this whole control wall, another 9-volt for the disintegrator cabinet. I have all my switches and stuff for the 9-volt battery so I can turn them on and off by a push of a button on this switch here. I also have, you know, AA power sources too, with on and off switches as well in case I need those as well. So I got plenty of battery casings. I bought extra, you know, just to make sure I had them. You know, the marquee lighting, I've tested every single light that I received, and every one of them works beautifully. So I am committed to do this, so I'm not just going to spend money on lightings and not build this thing. So I will be building this thing. I still got to do the scale drawings of the disintegrator cabinet. So I want to make sure I get that all drawn out. So I do want to get that done. These are very delicate, so I got to be careful with the mega lights there and the marquee lighting. So I got to be very careful with these. So, but these are beautiful lighting stuff. So Evans Designs make fantastic lighting. I got the lead to go to Evans Design from Ken Spriggs, who took and built his own diorama of the Fly, which kind of inspired me to do mine. But I wanted to do mine completely movie accurate as much as possible. So mine will be pretty much everything as per the movie, including the humongous light bulbs on top of this cabinet here, which will be done. And I found the perfect ones to use for that as well. These are appliance replacement bulbs, and they are exactly the right size for the scale of this particular diorama. Again, like I said, it is a 1/8 scale model of the Fly, so I built or designed this for 1/8 scale. The disintegration cabinet is going to be about 11 inches high, you know, with the added parts to it, probably about 12 inches total, I think is where it's going to end up at. As far as the height, about 5 inches square. I've got some styrene product already. I got to buy some more particular panels like the styrene tile sheeting and some rods and tubes I'm going to need. And of course, other components I will be building out of bond paper, you know, and forming those with a glue stick. And it's a pretty easy process to make that stuff. So I'll be able to make like all of these control dials here and this. You know, a lot of this stuff will be made out of, and like the transformer coils will be basically just bond paper and a glue stick. And I learned how to do this. I'll be doing a lot of custom fabrication here. And of course, I learned this, you know, during my model construction techniques. I've learned over the past, you know, 50 some odd years with model airplane building. So I'll easily be able to fabricate everything that's there. So again, this is the main wall, control wall. So it's going to have all cold lights flashing. There's going to be all the marquee lights between these 4 panels, the main panel, and another 4 panels. So there'll be about 20 here, 20 in here, 20 in here, alternating, and they're flashing. So it should be really super cool when I get that done. Of course, the other wall that's going to come off of the side of this transformer is where the chalkboard's going to be. There'll be main power cables running across the top here and then connecting to the top of the disintegrator cabinet. That's how the power cables actually attached to the top of the disintegrator integrator cabinet, which has 4 transformer type coils where the power core is going to go, and then that leads to the power cables down the side. And as I start constructing this stuff, you'll see, and I'm going to do a scale drawing of, all I got left to do now really is just a scale drawing of the disintegrator cabinet. That's going to be the 1/8 scale. So everything you see here will be exactly the size. And I did this because now I can lay out all my parts I'm going to fabricate, and everything will be exactly to this size. So this way I don't have to measure anything after this drawing now. Everything will be easily put together and built. So I'm going to do the 1/8 scale drawing of the full disintegrator cabinet, the screening shields, you know, all the details on that. I'm going to make that scale drawing. And then there's 3 glass cases that have the neon blue, green, and blue. Actually, the center one that's going to sit up in front of this cabinet is going to have the blue, green, and blue. The center one looks yellow in the movie, but as you see it, you know, and if you ever watched the movie, the center one actually lights up green. So I'm going to go alternate blinking, blue, green, and blue with fiber optics. I'm going to try that first. If that doesn't work, I'm going to line it up first and make sure everything lights up properly. If not, then I'll do it another way with some other lighting stuff I saw from Briggs that Ken had mentioned to me, or I had saw on his video. So there's still a lot of planning, but almost done. So I got this drawing done. I'm going to do the disintegrator cabinet drawing and the little neon gizmo here, and that was actually 3 little separate glass cases, and those glass cases had their own kind of interesting stuff in it besides the neon, and those sat on a very short-legged table in front of this main control wall. I'm not going to have the female character Helene in this diorama. I'm just going to have Andre Delam, who became the Fly, and I'm going to have him standing kind of in front of the disintegrator cabinet, and he's probably going to be on this side of it, I think, either on the left side or the right side. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to have him have the axe in his hands, well, the Fly hand and human hand, but I'm going to have him holding the axe, getting ready to chop up his machine. In the movie, he takes an axe to it, he chops it all up and destroys it and breaks everything so nobody can use it. And that's when he knows he's had it. He's going to end up smashing his head and arm in the hydraulic press outside of his laboratory here. So I think I'm going to have him standing there with the axe. In the model kit, he's wearing a tie, or they supplied a tie to put on him. But in the movie, once he became this fly creature, he did not have the tie on because I guess it was strangling his neck when he had this huge fly head. So I'm presuming in the movie he takes it off because it's too tight for him, and that's why he's not wearing a tie. So I'm going to make mine where he's not wearing the tie. He's just going to have the beige lab coat, the white shirt, dark slacks, the belt, and that's it. He's not going to be wearing the tie. I'm going to modify the model for that. I don't like the way the fly claw looks in the kit. It looks kind of big. It looks kind of wonky because I think it's too big for his body. In the movie, it looked a little smaller, and it looked like there was like extra little things sticking out of the fly claw besides those barbs. So I may actually sculpt a new claw for him out of polymer clay. His hand is going to have to be capable of holding the axe, so I may actually sculpt a new human hand for him as well out of polymer clay. The fly head looks good, so I'm not going to have to do anything with that. I'll figure out how I'm going to paint that as time goes on, and I'll explain that as well. But right now I just wanted everybody to see my finalization of a 1/8 scale drawing of the main control wall that's in the movie The Fly from 1958. I've got 2 more drawings to do, and then I'll be ready to start construction. But before I start construction, like I said, I want to make sure I have everything drawn out to the correct scale. So then after that, then I can just start putting stuff together. And after that, it'll go pretty quick because I am retired, so I got time throughout the day to actually work. So I'll probably be able to build this quite quickly. You know, back wall will probably be made out of a fiber board, styrofoam board to keep it light because it's going to be sitting on a 32 by, I'm thinking 12-inch floor. So 32 by 12-inch floor. Because it's got to have, for scale-wise for the movie, the disintegrator chamber has to be far away enough for the wall, because you see Andre Delam in the movie walking behind the disintegrator cabinet, you know, turning on all the switches on his machine to start it up. So there has to be room for him to walk behind there. So I will design that scale-wise as well. So there's a walkway behind this disintegrator cabinet a little bit further forward. So I believe it'll be 32 by 12 or 32 by 14, something like that, and I'll figure out the size, because the floor is kind of like a stone tile kind of floor. So I'm going to do that because I want it to be as movie accurate as I can. I mean, it's not going to be perfect towards exact spot on, But it'll be really, really close to movie accurate, and that's what I want. So I decided to tackle this project. I am committed to this project, and I will finish this project. And every piece, I mean, this is part, well, it's no longer a preliminary drawing now. So this is part one of the planning scale size drawings. So part two, I'll have the rest of the drawings done. And after that, then we'll start building and we'll go on and on and on. But so part one of the full 1/8 scale drawing of the major control wall from the movie The Fly from 1958, starring Al Hedison, Patricia Owen, Herbert Marshall, and Vincent Price. If you haven't seen the movie, I suggest watch it because it's not like the remake with Jeff Goldblum and Geena Davis. They changed how the story worked in that one. This movie from 1958 is based on a short story that was featured in Playboy. I believe it was 1957. And the short story was done by George Langolier. I believe the last name is pronounced. So thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel. There will be more coming up relatively soon. So again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll sign off for now, and we'll get back to this later as well. Thank you for watching.